Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bravo and Blaze with Jenny Blaze. I am your host, Jenny Blaze. If you're new, welcome to this unhinged mess. If you've been here before, thank you for all your support and welcome back. This week's episode is pre-recorded with a special guest, and at the time of recording, we did not see this week's new episodes of The Real Housewives of Orange County or The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but we still discuss both of those franchises with our special guest. As a reminder, we have new episodes of Bravo and Blaze with Jenny Blaze every Friday. They're either pre-recorded or we do a live stream on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch at 1 p.m. Eastern. Last week, I did an emergency live stream because we had to talk about the secret lives of Mormon wives. That was a bonus episode, which I'd like to get out for everyone as often as possible. If you are a podcast listener, please note that we have visuals over here on YouTube for you to look at. The audio podcast is always available wherever you get your podcasts. As a disclaimer, I need to remind everyone that this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We are just chatting and trying to have a good time. We may have some strong opinions, but they are just opinions. If you find yourself becoming so infuriated and enraged that you feel the need to attack myself or anyone else, please take a few breaths before doing so. Like I said, this podcast is for entertainment. We are not here to intentionally hurt anyone and by no means use this platform as a means for bullying. If you are not following us on social media, make sure you do. We are at Bravo and Blaze on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. And we are at Jenny Blaze on YouTube. Also, to help support Bravo and Blaze, make sure you subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, and leave a 5-star rating. All of those things help us to achieve things like a nomination for overall reality podcast in the 11th annual American Reality Television Awards. Voting is over and the award show is supposed to be on November 18th, but I don't know when we find out who wins. Fingers crossed that it's anyone but Nick Viall. I also need to talk about Patreon. We are well underway of our season 4 rewatch of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The first 3 episodes are available on Patreon, and the next episode dropping on Monday is with a very, very special guest. So make sure you join Patreon and subscribe. I recorded a pre-rewatch episode for everyone to watch so you can understand what my journey with Salt Lake City has been like before you join our rewatch with us. Everything discussed will have links in the show notes. Without further ado, let's get into this week's Bravo and Blaze. Everyone, I have a very special guest for today's episode. Please allow me to introduce media personality and content creator George Takounakis. Did I say it right?
Yes, thank you. It's a hard one.
I love it. It's
Thank
Greek,
you.
right?
Yeah, very much.
I have a Greek tattoo. I
You
have
do?
one tattoo. It's in Greek, and it's because I went maybe like 16 years ago and had a life-changing experience, and I just wanted to like remember it forever.
In Greece?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Did it
It was
involve a
just
church?
no.
Okay, there's this like infamous church my mom always talks about that like
Oh,
heals
really?
people or something. Yeah,
Wait, where is it?
I don't remember, but it was like a specific church. I think it's at the top of like a mountain. And I think like, so at the time, my mom took my sister who then had breast cancer, or she was in remission from it or something. So my mom, while they were there, was like, absolutely was like, no, we need to go here. So she took her there. And so my mom always attributes it to why, she's still in remission to this day. And this is almost like 20 years ago. I'm aging
Oh my
myself.
gosh.
But yeah, so it's wild. So, but I've heard other people say that their life has changed while being in
Really?
Greece. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I went there with my partner Jeff 2 years ago, and we spent almost 3 weeks there.
Ah,
It was life changing because when we came back, everything in our mindsets started to shift differently
yes.
around things and elements of life. It was very strange. It wasn't even like
Yeah.
thought, that wasn't a thought going into it, like, oh, I'm gonna go and change, like, eat,
Same.
pray, love. It just was like
Me too.
vacation, we're gonna enjoy
Yeah.
this. And then came back and was like, what the fuck can I cuss?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing with our
Yeah.
lives?
Oh
Like,
my God. I was the same
let's,
way.
yeah, it's wild. So when I hear other people say it, it's just like, what's going on? Maybe it's something in the water or something.
Well, my moment, I remember it so crystal clear because we were at some beach. I wish I knew the name of the beach, but it had like black sand. And there was like this rock out in the water, and this man was standing on the rock. So it looked like he was standing on water, and he looked like a Greek god. His body was just like sick, right? And the light and just being in the water and seeing this Greek god looking man like walking on water almost, I was just like, this place is so beautiful. And this was after I had gone to Santorini, I think, or maybe I was in Santorini, but just when I don't know, something about Santorini, just being there, seeing everything, like I feel like I could even smell it right now because it's just overwhelming when you're there. Just never felt that kind of joy from the location that I'm in.
Everyone's really ecstatic and like just loving every cliff, and
Yes.
because
The
you could literally like
donkeys.
make one wrong step in Santorini and go flying
My
down. I
friend did.
mean, that's awful, and that scares
That's
the
scary.
living shit out of me because I hate
Mhm.
heights already.
Yeah.
So that was at night it was worse because you were just like, everything's always on stone and
Yeah, it's
there's no
slippery.
guardrails
No, it's
floating up
very
a mountain.
dangerous.
But
Wear sneakers.
there is something magical about Santorini. I understand now why there's like a lot of couples that go there on their honeymoon or
Yeah.
like just getting away. But it's like, yeah, we went during a busy time, so it was really, really honeymooned up. Every
Yeah.
place was like a guy and his wife, new wife, hands
Yeah.
together at the table and just like taking 7 million pictures. Which is like,
I went with two girlfriends, so it was not like that for me,
so
but
that's probably better.
yeah, I could see that. And I was like, I still, I want to go back with someone I love because I can't imagine that would be like on a different level of dopamine, I think.
It is, especially when you're on the islands, like especially like when you're in Mykonos, because then you can just go do the fun stuff like party, but you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about all the creep. I don't know, like it's just different. I don't know.
Santorini, I definitely felt like I should be in bed having sex with someone right now, like cuddling.
It does feel like that there.
Yeah. But then
The bar
Mykonos, it was
scene
like,
was.
it was more like I can go out and have fun and people
Yeah,
are out also.
we did that for like 2 nights, and then it just was like I don't know. Like it got old because
Yeah.
everyone there was just desperate to just be party, you know? Because
Well, you
also the
know,
cruise ships.
the worst island I think was Eos, not because it was like awful, but everyone there just seemed like they wanted to party. There was no like, let's go to the beach and like relax. It was like, let's get wasted and hook up.
Yeah, I've heard that about like I've heard that, which
Really?
I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It has ebbs and flows. I'll say that. I haven't been to every single island to be fair, but like some
I'm
are
sure they
known
have like
for
yeah, they're known for their thing, right?
I think yeah, because I think that one's also an up and coming like Mykonos vibe. I think they're trying to like whatever.
just spent so much time talking
I
about
know we just
Greece.
gave everyone like a full guide on
Go
how
to
to go to
Greece.
Greece. It's not sponsored by
Maybe
the
we should just
governor.
go together.
We should.
That'd be
I would
fun.
love to be able to like jump around in Europe and just do podcast episodes from
Right?
different locations. Wouldn't that
Oh
be
my
fun?
God. Dreams, goals, all of that. That
Get a
would be
good
so
VPN
amazing.
and schedule things appropriately and stand,
Live stream.
yes.
Live stream from the church. The
Could you
life-changing church.
imagine? Oh my mom would come find me and be like, absolutely.
Oh my God. No, that'd be so great. Like, you know how many
Probably would give
people,
them
yeah,
probably would
people would
give
want to
them
go.
boatloads. They would be so angry though going up that
Right?
mountain.
Oh, well, you could show them along the way. Be like, this is what you can
Look, this
expect.
is the place, you're on your own.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, last time we saw each other was when we met, and that was at BravoCon in
Mm-hmm.
Vegas. Can you believe
Mm-hmm.
it's almost been a year?
Scary how fast that went by. Because I literally feel
Wild.
like we were just all scrambling for like tickets and shit. Like
Oh God, I'm still
that was such
traumatized
a
from that.
nightmare. And then the
That was.
add-on tickets added another layer of anxiety. And then you felt like you're in high school again because you're like, oh shit, I didn't get tickets to this thing. And then like four people have to dip because they're all going to it.
I know there's
So
too much FOMO, even though you're there. I don't know.
yeah,
Would you go if they had another one this year?
I would. I think the one in Vegas was much more the vibe for what they were trying to do. I went to the one in New York and it
Oh,
just,
you did?
yeah, it just wasn't organized well because
I
like
like
the
that.
panel was like a ruckus day one for Beverly
That's
Hills.
true. That
So
was
it was
scary.
just crazy. And then they had the tickets kind of weird where it didn't make sense like to have the extra S VIP tickets because the line was just as long for like most things. It was just because the space wasn't conducive for it. But Vegas feels like they could really, it's
It was
kind of set
definitely,
up to do those types of things, I
yeah,
feel like. So it
yeah.
made more sense. So, but I am glad they're taking about a year off.
So, how did you get started as a creator? Because I love to get to know other creators. We met at BravoCon. We were both at the Peter Madrigal Watch What or not Watch What Happens Live Weight Watchers
Yes.
bus. That was fun.
Well, so long story short, when COVID happened, because I used to work in the beauty and fashion industry for like 14 years. And then when we moved back from New York, COVID pretty much happened a year later. And then I didn't want to be in beauty and fashion anymore. So I took this like personal assistant job at a like food hospitality like company for this big global guy. And I just said, I'm just going to do this and focus on, because I always wanted to be content creator, but I never really had the balls to like just do it. So nonetheless, COVID happened. We sold our condo because we were both like my partner and I were going stir crazy being in a small space, working from home. So we were like, we have to buy a house. And so my dad unfortunately passed away right when we listed our condo. And then we bought our house 2 weeks later. Within like 4 week period, we'd sold a condo. I buried my dad and then moved into a new
Oh
home.
my gosh, that's a lot.
So it was a lot of stuff. So I shut down for that first year, and then a year to the day that my dad passed, my partner and I went to dinner, and then crazy, we're eating dinner, and then two people pull up and start shooting up the restaurant. So I ended up getting stuck in the restaurant for like a period of time, hiding under this table, being
Wait,
like,
shooting like with a
oh
gun?
yeah, no, yeah. No, there's like still have the news camera footage because I'm gonna like use it at some point to tell my story. Like, anyways,
Oh my God.
so that happened. I was in the restaurant and I was like, this is really weird because like I remember being like, why would that? This is how I'm going on the day that like
A
the same day
year.
that my dad
Yeah.
passed away. That's weird. So then I was like, okay,
That's what you were
fine.
thinking in the restaurant?
Yes, because I really thought it was up. Like I thought it was up. Like it was,
Oh
I
my
can't even
God.
explain. Well, obviously, like you've never had that happen. Like it's not really something you can compare it to, but like it was just a level of fear that I've never experienced before. That
Wow.
makes sense. So,
Yeah.
anyways, while sitting there waiting it out and hoping and whatever for the best, I was like, you know what? If I get out of here, then I'm gonna make a shift. I'm gonna do because maybe it was like a sign from my dad being like, you're sitting on your ass, you're not doing anything, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, like, if this is what you need to have happen, this is how I looked at it, and this is the way my
Your
therapist
dad is
approves.
giving tough love from the other side. That's badass.
Yeah. So, and my dad is a Cancer, so he was very much like I just his personality was just like one of a kind in that way. So like he was always a stern person anyway. So like this kind of shook me to my core, obviously.
Wow.
And so I think like 3 days later, I posted my first like TikTok video and then I went to sleep because I was like, I don't want to sit here and be like
Stare at
that
it.
person.
Yeah.
So I just posted and ghosted and went to sleep, woke up the next day and it had like, I think 20,000 views. And it was like, I'd
Your
gained like
first TikTok?
yeah, so I just took that as a sign to keep doing
Oh
it.
my
And so I
God,
just
I love
figured I
that.
honestly just figured it out and then it brought me to where I'm at now and it's completely changed my life honestly in so
Oh
many
my
ways
God.
because it taught me to show up for myself, be accountable and like do something that actually I'm passionate about and bring something different to the table because obviously like there's so many great creators that cover all these same shows, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
we all bring something unique and I just feel like also this kind of peer group like being at BravoCon and like meeting you and so many others was just I walked away feeling even better because it
Yeah.
wasn't this other, because in the typical influencer gatherings like that, you always hear that everyone's really like nasty to each other. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, yeah, like just kind of just showboating or trying to like, network specifically to just get like clout and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in
Oh, that
this
definitely happens in our
space.
our
It
community
for
too, but
sure, for sure. But I feel like it's on a smaller level than
really?
maybe I haven't been to that many events where everyone's kind of in similar spaces. Maybe that would change. But based on my experiences at BravoCon, I mean, it didn't feel, I mean, it felt overall positive. I mean, obviously, there was
Yeah.
a couple people I was like, okay, well, go, go fuck yourself.
What was there anyone like as far as Bravo Labs go that you were surprised when you met them face to face? Either like surprised in a good way or surprised in a negative way?
Well, surprised and absolutely mortified, probably for me. And I can laugh it off now, but in the moment, I was like, holy shit, you're an idiot. We were at the, and I was in Vegas and we were at we went to the iHeart like pre BravoCon party that iHeart was doing for 2 T's in a pod. Anyways, we were standing in the middle of this like hotel room that's connected to another suite where they would go take housewives and other people back there and do
Okay.
interviews.
Okay.
Anyways, so Tamara and Teddy are walking through like to get through to the suite and I see them and I go, look, I look dead at Tamara and go, Teddy. And she goes, I'm Tamara. And I was like, holy shit, they're gonna throw
I
but they
mean,
were
that's
they were
not
they
that
were funny.
bad.
They were no. But for me, that
No,
was
I
like in
know.
the middle of a room where it was like a bunch of people just like loud, not like tapping on the shoulder, like, hey, like it was like, oh my God. But it's funny now because I was like, oh my God.
I really love your story about becoming a creator. These are the stories that I love to ask about because it usually is something really beautiful like that. And the what you were talking about, the energy from other creators who have similar types of experiences, you do get that sense of camaraderie where it's like, I truly 100% want you to win. Like, I want to watch you win.
Yes.
I want to win too, but like, I can also want you to win. I don't feel like there's, I I think people who approach it in a competitive way are doing it for they may be doing it for the wrong reasons, in my opinion.
1000% agree with that. Because for me, it was more about showing up and doing something that I'd always been doing. It just wasn't a post or it wasn't what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not lost on me either. Like during my slump from 2020 to 2021, that was all a blur. I was like melted in the couch, yes, but I was watching a lot of the people that have been doing this before me. And so, like the Zach Peters of the world, and, like those people really made huge differences in my life in that period for the sake of feeling like there's other people out there that give that much of a shit about these shows
Yeah.
that I do, So it was
Yeah.
very, yeah, it was just a full circle moment. And so I'm super grateful for it. So I always tell other people that are struggling with any of it, you know, don't overthink it because literally it will come natural the way it's meant to. You shouldn't have to like for me it doesn't feel like work.
Right, right.
So it'll, that's for
Same.
me how I know I've kind of hit the right spot.
Yeah, same. If I feel any dread at all, I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no. This is not we're gonna have to shift because I don't wanna be forced to" like, creating, I feel like you cannot force creation. What do you think?
No, also I'm not the best example because I'm a one man show because well, I'm not at a level where I can justify paying other people to do anything. So I've
Yeah.
learned pretty much to the best of my abilities how to do every single facet of everything that I want to do, right? So that I'm also super grateful for because I'm grateful to YouTube tutorials. I'm grateful to, anybody that's put the time in to help through questions.
Mhm.
And I think part of that for me has helped me grow into a content creator that can start to play outside the box more now. And I love that, at the home base, it's always Bravo, but like obviously, like I have other interests. So that's why I like being able to, I actually like controlling what I put out because I don't want to be told this is what you need to
Mhm.
discuss and this is how you have to say it because that's not true to who I am. So
Mhm.
I if it takes longer for me to get a gig or you know do things in terms of like being big in that world or whatever, that's okay. Like I would rather not get thrown down the pipeline and drained and then
Mhm.
be somebody bitter in like 10 years that's online ranting at you. Do you know what
Bethany
I'm
Frankel.
saying? I mean, anybody that's ever been like just in the machine too long and then it should have stopped a while ago kind of thing. And you see it over and over again. You see people go up and then fall crashing down because you see that they like whatever. And like for me, I feel like my slow to move to get here was for a reason because I think even with saying how you feel about certain people on these shows, it like really can backfire on you in the
Mhm.
DMs and people start sending you hate mail and emails
Mhm.
about just simply your take on a reality TV show.
I know, it's so wild how
It's
invested people
insane.
get.
And I
I mean,
think
I'm invested and I'm sure you are too, but like not to the point where I'm gonna take action to try to hurt somebody.
no, I mean, I just want to have my Nancy Drew moment and go. Like I don't even like cuz it's not I understand that they're also on a show. So I
Yeah.
don't expect it to be a one for one, you know what I mean? So like
Right.
who do I know? Like who am I? Come
That's
out here swinging the way that some of these accounts do, but I'm like you guys are wild.
I know some people are wild. I quit watching Jersey a long time ago, but somebody sent me somebody posted Melissa Gorga's daughter's cheerleading schedule or something, and I'm like, this should be illegal. This
When I
is too
tell you
much.
how wild New Jersey fans
I
are, it
can't.
is so crazy and scary.
Yeah. That and Beverly Hills, those two fandoms scare me the most, I think.
I'll take the Beverly Hills fandom over New Jersey fandom. Those man.
What do you think? Okay, I want to talk to you about two franchises, OC and Salt Lake City. Which one do you like more? Or can you even choose? Is it like a I love them both in different ways?
I think they're different for me. I like them for different reasons. So I like OC because you do get a nice balance of like super duper wealthy and then the like
Jen,
I will I
Petrotti.
yes, thank you. Uh you know, where it's like, yeah, she'll stroll in, get glam, put on her labels, and then be like 2 months short of her rent. You know what I mean? Like, and what's the problem? You got that girl who we all know someone like Jen. Come on, right? And then you have Heather Dubrow, who is
Ugh,
just like the caviar that sits at the
mhm.
table and bestows her energy amongst these women every few months for a year. Like, I love it for those reasons. Salt Lake City, I think, is just unique to me. There's something
Yeah.
about the fact that there's that Mormon
Mm-hmm.
aspect. There's this, now we have the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which I binged in a day, and I'm
Yeah.
absolutely way too obsessed with it.
Oh my gosh.
But Salt Lake is just got that layer to it that you're like, huh, what's going on out
Yeah.
there? You know what
There's
I'm
like way
saying?
more to uncover with Salt Lake City. And it goes the same, I think, for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because it's a culture within our culture that we don't have this exposure to normally. I didn't know anyone who was Mormon before watching these shows. So this is like mind blowing to me when they say things like, we don't drink coffee, but we have lots of soda.
Or they get laughing gas to get Botox, so they get high, or they
I
do
know.
ketamine, or just stuff like that, where it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
very bizarre. Or like the whole concept of soft swinging is like my nightmare, first of all. But also they're like, yeah, it's just, you're not like, there's no full penetration. It's like, what are you like? You have someone's genitals in your mouth. Like, is that
listen,
soft?
it's never for me, like it would just never work. Like I don't care if it like not in my face either. Like you're absolutely insane. Soft what?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my
Like hard
God.
swing. No, I think it's interesting and I think it adds another layer to the conversation, and I think people like having Mary back, there's a strong percentage of viewers that are upset with that because they feel like she's not nice. She's said some horrible things, but I think
They all say horrible things.
that, and I think we're seeing a different side of Mary this season, and I think that just is reality. There's so many different layers and facets to people, and we don't know them truly. So it's interesting to see a softer Mary or see her hanging out with Angie and Whitney doing press together, having fun. Like that's interesting to me, and I want to watch that.
I
So,
love that Mary and Angie are like besties now.
ugh,
It's
leave it
giving
to
me
the great
life.
woman.
Oh,
We
I love
always can sneak our way into the meanest person and break
it.
them.
No, I think with Mary, she is problematic in many ways,
Yes.
but that was a decision that someone in casting made before season 1. So like once we got Mary, I don't feel like I felt kind of guilty like enjoying her, knowing what I googled beforehand and feeling frightened and terrified of her. But and like I am happy that she's back, but not because think she's a good person or anything. I think Mary is a very complex person who is coming from an environment and upbringing that is not usual, and I think it sheds light on some corners of the world that may need some light shined on it.
You know, I'm I'm big on we're in this period of, the age of Aquarius and all that stuff that is in the dark that's been sitting is going to come to the light. So whether it be through Mary Cosby being on a TV show to shed some light on what's going on at that church,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like, wait, why are you marrying off your 16-year-old daughter to a
Oh
21-year-old
my
man?
gosh.
And we're
Thank
gonna
you for
skim
saying that.
over that. We're gonna just skim right over it. Like, and then we had our bait. Like, no, oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, they did
What's
just skip over
going
that.
on, mom? Like,
The leader of the
mom.
church.
But then the
They,
mom has also grown up that way. And you can tell
yes.
because, like, not to stray the conversation to Secret Lives of Mormon
No,
Wives,
that's
but
fine. I'm
it's
in it.
just there's these elements where you're just like, oh my gosh, like the Whitney and mom conversation where it's like you didn't tell me anything about sex and I'm traumatized because on my wedding night it was probably traumatized. I mean, what? Like, and the
Yeah.
mom's just kind of like, yeah, I should have,
Yeah,
it's
that's what
gonna.
we do. We get traumatized on our
So,
wedding
but
nights.
that is just something that's super suppressed, and something like that
Mhm.
show lets a lot of people dive
Yes.
in, and you're like, wait a second,
Yeah.
like again? So it's interesting how things unfold, and it's turning into like entertainment TV.
Yeah. No, I like the sociological part of reality shows. And
Mhm.
one thing about this Michaela Jace underage bride thing that is concerning. I also heard, I think it was Morgan P. Talks on Instagram, was going through the list and who's an active Mormon, and Michaela was not on that list. She allegedly left the church. And I'm like, wait a minute, you cannot leave us like that. I need to know, did she get excommunicated? Does she still have a relationship with her mother, who is a leader in the church? Is she going to press charges against her husband for getting her pregnant when she was 16? Like, there's so much that comes out of this tiny bit of information that for Michaela being in it probably has no idea that we're like, hold up, excuse me, wait a minute. Cause that's all she's ever known. And she has no idea how fucked up it seems to other people.
I 1000% believe that some of these girls thought that this reality show, whatever this was going to be like social
Escape.
media. And what ended up happening is like you have someone like um Jen, who
Jen
the one that's
Affleck.
married, yeah,
Ugh,
like
with
which was
Zach, I
interesting how
hate
they
him.
had to keep flat. She was the only person that kept flashing her full name every time. It's like, okay, we get it. Um, but I often wonder when they watched when she watches that period back, that moment where she didn't even do anything, and the guy is
Yeah.
like, um, I would be mortified. I would,
Mhm.
because the a lot of people's content was around that specific situation, their relationship. Not
It
to
was
mention
awful.
she was the breadwinner, so you can imagine the entire time I'm screaming at the
I know. Oh my
TV, like
gosh.
she just gave you a bankroll, dude. Like, who are you to tell anybody? I will sit on this man's face if I want to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was driving me
Yeah.
bananas, and I was like, so I can imagine she's probably looking at him, being like, you know what? I don't know. Or
I
maybe he's
mean,
in on it, but why
she's
would he want to
so
make himself look like that, like crazy like that for a
I
show?
think
I don't think.
she must be so brainwashed that she doesn't even realize how insane that whole thing was. I really don't think she understands. Like, how can you watch that and stay with someone like that after the world has seen it too? It's like one thing if I could see some in private, you're like, oh fuck, like my
Or
husband
if
sucks.
if it like happened with a night out with your friends and you get
Yeah,
the weird text, they're like, "Oh, I
yeah.
gotta go home," and everyone's like, "No, why?" And you're like, "I have to go." Like, and then you storm out. No one's gonna watch it on national
Yeah.
television and judge it.
Yeah.
This girl, she's getting eaten up, and so is he, rightfully so. But it's just like everyone's like, leave him, and it's like,
I
could you
know.
imagine every day, every time you post, it's just like,
I would be, if I was her, and I wouldn't be like this just because I'm the breadwinner, but because of who he is, I'd be like, Zach, do you know how much it costs to get a nanny who doesn't look inbred? Probably less than 2,500. Like,
I just feel like
I hate him.
he just has such a like unnecessary ego. It's like you're not even doing shit. Like
I
you
think
have a
that's the
gambling addiction.
Mormon way.
You're like 12. Like what is going on there? Why do you have a gambling addiction
He
already?
needs Roblox.
Yeah, he needs a like Nintendo handheld. I I know there's going to be a season 2 of this show, but
Oh,
I do
good.
think some of these girls are going to have to turn on each other cuz I think
Haven't they already?
not all of them. Some
Wait,
I
who's your
saw
favorite? What did you think about Demi?
to me,
Demi, whatever.
first of all, she fucking ate.
Oh, I loved it.
She ate all of
It
them
was
up.
like just one after another.
And you know what? Everyone,
Champion.
I saw a TikTok today that was like they were talking about when the girls were like answering questions out of the box or whatever, like truth, whatever they played. It was a producer game because at that point the producers was like, you guys aren't fucking doing shit except talking behind each other's backs. You guys all need to confront each other, so we're gonna do this. That question that got the whole Whitney and Taylor thing going, that was a producer question. No
Was
one
it,
was going
are
to
you
address it.
jealous?
Yeah, why do you hate Whitney or why do you think she's jealous of you or whatever the situation was? It was very specific, the question. Um, but that card that she read it off of was the color cards that Whitney was writing her questions on. So why would she have written that about herself? So that was clearly a
Yeah.
producer slipped that in and was like, no, we're gonna get this question in. But yeah, no, I think it's just Demi also having the connection because she's married to Angie Harrington's ex,
Ex-husband.
which is, but like, I don't know. There's just something about her. She's a good blend of like, yes, she's still young, but she also has a maturity about her that I could see her thriving in this reality TV world, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Did you see Whitney Rose on Nick Vile's podcast, The Vile Files?
Listen, Whitney is always going to be the messy one in this group. So I don't expect anything less. I didn't really expect much in terms of feuds to not be happening with Whitney
Yeah.
from anyone because
She's a hot
she's going to do
star.
what the producer tells her to do. Like she'll do whatever, she's down. She knows this is, benefits her. So she'll play the game. But I think it's going to be a good season. I'm interested to get to know Bronwyn.
Yes.
She
What
seems
do you think?
interesting.
She already posted or she's been tweeting, and she tweeted a response to someone saying, "You're never going to be like Jen Shaw," or something like that. Because, oh, I think Bronwyn, she's big on fashion. There
Yeah.
was like, remember Jen Shaw wore like a vote dress or something? It was like vote, vote, vote. Like, I don't know.
Oh, yes.
This was a while ago. I guess Bronwyn wore something similar. So somebody responded to that and was like, "You're never going to be Jen Shaw." And so Bronwyn responded to that person, was like, "I don't need to be," or what, I don't know, something, but I don't even remember what she said. What I took from it was, one, we didn't even start the season, and this new girl is very sensitive about her fashion. We already know her triggers. Like, not a good move, in my opinion, as a starting housewife. Like, I would lay back and just be quiet for a little bit. What do you think?
I feel the same way. I don't, well, first of all, I don't like anyone that takes themselves that seriously when it comes to fashion, because fashion is supposed to be playful and you're supposed to express yourself, yes. But if you're getting upset because someone made a reference to you possibly wanting to be Jen Shaw, like, yes, to you that feels like a dig because in your mind maybe Jen Shaw is beneath you in that world, but like you responding to it so publicly before we've even had a chance to meet you on screen is just like wild because like for
Yeah.
me, like I always think about it if I were about to go on a show or I filmed a show already and it's coming out and someone's poking at me, but no one has seen me yet. Like, do I want to piss everyone off before the show even starts so we get this preconceived notion about who I might be?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know what's that. If she didn't say anything, I feel like I would have a different openness going into this season. But because she's already kind of like made herself, I don't know, present in our Twitter world, I'm like, oh, she's like ready to go. And it gives me a different taste in my mouth going into the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to know, did she rent all of those things or
Oh,
did she purchase?
she said, I think her response was, the difference between Jen Shaw and I is that I pay all my designers up front or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
So that also is another indication of something that is sensitive or some kind of trigger to her. And I just think that is not a smart move coming into this scenario as a new housewife because you've opened up your weak spots to the fans and also to the other housewives. You could just say one word about her outfits and she'll probably crumble.
I mean, hopefully not. Like, I hope not, because that's annoying, honestly, if that's what, because people are going to have something to say about her fashion, like
Yeah.
whether it's good or a negative. The negative ones, if she's going to be the person that's going to only pay attention to the negative ones, she's not going to last very long
Yeah. I
because she
agree.
hasn't even seen her edit.
I know. Who are your top faves on OC?
Top faves. I'm really liking Katie.
Me too.
I'm really liking her. I feel like it doesn't feel like she's new, even though I know she's new. She kind of just gelled really nicely, in my
Isn't she so
opinion.
chill? Like, I love how calm she is.
She's just comes off really fucking real. Like, I feel like I could run
Yeah.
into her at Whole Foods and just chat with her for 10 minutes and be on my way, and be like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Like, I'm getting the
Yes.
parsley. Like it's just she is just chill,
Yeah.
and she kind of, she gets the assignment because I think she's done TV in some capacity, so she
Yeah.
understands like cameras and what. But
Yeah.
anyways, I
I
like
don't do you
her.
feel like if you like Katie, then that takes away any feelings towards Heather Dubrow? Because I feel like me saying I like Katie, people are taking that as, oh my God, you don't like Heather Dubrow, when that's not the case at all. Like I like both of them.
I I I hate the team thing so much because this is a stupid petty conflict on a reality show. So for me to be like, absolutely not. My allegiance is to Heather always. Or the comments are like, you could do nothing to make me hate you. Like, shut up. Yes, they can. Everyone can make a really sloppy decision that could turn off a bunch of people. Anyways, no, I I like Heather Dubrow, but I also can poke fun at stuff when it comes to something this petty. And that's where I think to me, it's funny, but I think it's really crazy when people jump down this Katie's throat because she
I know.
like just simply doing her job. They're like, how dare you insinuate that? Like, it's like, what? Yeah, it's really dumb.
What do you think of do you think Heather had somebody call paparazzi, whether she did it herself or not?
Yeah, I do. 1000 fucking percent. I believe you didn't call Heather. That doesn't mean Terry didn't. Your
Right.
one of your children didn't accidentally call. Your housekeeper, your
Maybe she
driver.
emailed. That would be different than calling,
I
technically.
don't know. A slew of people could have made the phone call. The point is,
Who cares?
it but her reaction to it also
Yeah.
was interesting too,
Yeah.
because it's like, why are you so upset?
I
You know, I know it's dumb, but why are you so mad? So there's
I
that.
love it.
There's
That's why I
that.
love this feud because it's like so silly.
Dumb.
I love when it's low stakes like this because who really cares? When it was like Jenshaw going to federal prison, that was like on a deeper level. I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot. But I like this light kind of entertainment that we have with OC. So I'm having a good time. What do you think about Jugs and Jansen?
I mean, listen, I don't know her personally, but just based off of what I've seen on the show and press and all of that, I don't respect what she's bringing to the table. If this is your way of trying to get back on the show, I don't know if this is the best strategy to lead with, in my
Yeah.
opinion, because I would much rather get to know what life after Jim Bellino is
Yeah.
like.
Or like
Why?
with your
Because,
children.
or, well, I watched a full like interview that Jim Bellino did with Kelly and Rick for their like YouTube show. And
When?
he gave all the deets. I think he did it like last year or something. They went to his house and he talked about having a trans child and the
Ah.
lawsuit situation and the experience of being on that show and the edit and like blah blah blah. And then
Oh
you
my God, I'm gonna have to
realize
find it and put the
you
link in the
should.
show notes for everyone to go see.
Um, they did like full stop. Like he was very honest and it was not
Wow.
produced. It was just like they were just in his house and they set it up, whatever. But it was
Did you
interesting. So
like him after this?
did I like him?
Or think of
No.
him differently?
Yes, on the way he spoke about his children.
Yeah,
That
that's
kind
good.
of was like, no, I don't like him per
Right.
se, but I'm like,
He's
oh, okay, you're
human.
not a dick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
not
in
a
terms of being a
monster.
father in situations like that, you just don't know the
Mhm,
horrors that could come with that. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So it's just like someone like that too, who's made it clear he doesn't want to be talked about in any capacity because we've seen what he can do. I think,
mhm.
yeah, it's an interesting watch. And that's why, to my point, I was really interested in seeing what that other side of it was
Yeah.
through Alexis being on the show. And I'm not saying she hasn't talked about it, but I also think knowing that you're a friend of role on the show, your edit is going to be super punchy. So it's going to go with whatever's more salacious, more
Mm,
dramatic. So
mhm.
yeah, when she talks about like everyone at the table was talking about how many times they were sleeping with their respective partners, but they only showed me saying it to make it seem like I just was blurting that out. Sure, I do believe that. But it's just like,
She also knows how this game works. It's not her
been on
first
this show
time.
before.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
not her first rodeo. She knows how it works. And she, if anyone, I feel like had all the tools prepared to go into this season to set herself up for success, especially with Shannon. Like, after what Shannon came off of, she could have just been dead silent and probably everyone would have liked her way better.
I mean, the one thing is, and I'm Team Shannon on this, obviously, with the Alexis and John Jansen of it all. But I will say that in a lot of ways, this is really good distraction from
Yeah.
Shannon's
Mm.
horrific
I
DUI.
was I was upset at Shannon. At BravoCon, I didn't want to go talk to her. I was mad at her until the premiere.
I swear to you, I cannot tell you how hard it's been for me when I try to explain over and over again that, like, because I get the questions like, well, what do you want from her? Like, in terms of like on the show, but it's like, it's not a thing I want from her. But not to go all the way back, but like when she's even in her lawyer's meeting office and he's telling her, you can actually just get this wiped off if you're a good girl for 3 years, essentially. And she's like, makes a point to say, well, I just don't know because maybe I should just do it because of the privilege that I already, and it was like, and he reassured her, no, this is everyone's legal right. You're not privileged, Shannon. Like that pissed me off and made me be like, no, this is all for a play for the cameras now. You just want to soften the blow. I get it. You're horrified and embarrassed. And, you know, I don't like that she's still, I'm sorry, I don't like that she still drinks when you're
Yeah.
in this really rough spot still. You're
Right.
not out of the hole yet. So that part of it I struggle
Yeah.
with Shannon. But on the Alexis Bellino, John Jansen, we ride at dawn, because I treat Shannon like they're like our family. Like
Yeah.
you all cannot come in here and talk shit about my family. I can do it. You cannot. Get out.
Yep.
And
No,
that's how I feel
totally.
about Alexis and John at this point.
Ah, jugs. Jesus wants his jugs back.
He
Give
sure
them
does.
back. Give them back. Speaking of, that is one of your songs. We have to talk about your music. Please take the floor. I love
Listen,
it.
can I just tell you, first of all, I feel like this podcast episode is going to be like 3 hours long because I've just been talking your ear off. But this music thing happened not for any other reason, solely because I'm cheap. And so I was trying to get things to be a lot more elevated, and a lot of that entails music,
Music.
usage rights, all of that. And
Yeah.
obviously, like, you need all those things in place, and it's expensive.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of risks that come with some of it, because if they decide to pull that song, you've got to go back and take it out of your stuff. And like,
Hmm.
so I was like, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way where I can make some like, even if they're short, like they don't have to be full on songs, but like if I can figure out a way to just make some like cute bops, right?
Yeah.
Just for anything, my podcast, like whatever, that would be fantastical. And I would spend the time to learn to do it. So
Yeah.
because I've been super interested in AI and I use a lot of it to keep me organized and all of these other areas, I figured out a way that like I could just do it, and it all
Okay.
entails writing, which I love to do. So I was like, oh my gosh, so yes, I started down the rabbit hole of creating one song after the other, after the other, after the other. And I think now I have, this is wild. I just got an email from Spotify being like, "You, congrats on releasing your fifth album," because I just put out a new album. It's not Bravo related. The only one that's Bravo related is the uh Housewives Tales album, which is 24 tracks, all Bravo songs, like written and whatnot by me. And then I have Jesus Wants His Jugs Back that I actually was just doing for fun and
That
just
one is
posted
so
it. But
good.
then everyone was just DMing them, please release this so I can listen to it in the car. Um, so that's out. And then I'm gonna be working on doing a Bravo-esque Christmas album.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But I
I
love it.
love it
It's
so
fun,
much.
and I don't have to pay for commercial music anymore.
No, I love that. And I feel so honored. You wrote a song called Blaze It Up for Jenny
I
Blaze.
was doing it to be funny because I was like, oh, let me
I
just give her
love
this. And,
it.
like when you go on someone's show and they bring you the gift,
I
except we're
am
doing this virtually.
I'm
So I was like,
going
let me just
to play
digitally give it.
this.
But, it was meant to be funny.
Wait, am I allowed to, or
Yeah,
do
you
I
can.
have
No,
to
I get it's
license?
not. No, 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 no. I gave it to you. If you want to use it, you can use it for whatever you want. I don't have
I'm
it
definitely
connected to
gonna
anything. I literally
add
just
it to this
put it
show.
together.
Love it so much. I was like screaming when I heard it. So good. So we'll put the links to your albums in the show notes. Everyone has to go check those out because they're so hilarious and amazing. You're also Giorgio Says on Instagram and TikTok. Do you have something new coming out as well? Some new merch?
So They are
Pills?
they're pills, but they're uh blinged out on the top part of the capsule. And there's a third color. There's a hot pink and teal. And I'm going to be selling these with or without the chain because a lot of people like to layer. I love accessories and I like jewelry and I like stacking. But it's hard to find stuff that like I actually like that I would wear more than just once. And so these types of things are always like my vibe. And then I'll have some other textile things that I do with like the theme will be around pills. Like,
I love that. They're
so yeah,
so cute. Giorgio, thank you so much for being here. It's been so great having you. I feel like we just had kind of like a first date. So
did feel like a first date.
hopefully we have a second date soon,
Yes, we will.
sometime. But thanks again, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for joining. Make sure you subscribe, follow, share, like, leave a comment, and 5-star rating for Bravo and Blaze on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow on social media at Bravo and Blaze and at Jenny Blaze on YouTube. Check out new episodes of Bravo and Blaze every Friday and Patreon on Mondays. Until next time, stay lit, y'all.
Blitz, blitz, on face, yeah, we're feeling right. Bravo tees hot, we're riding hot tonight. Pop culture spilling from coast to coast. We're lighting it up, let's raise a toast. Let's go! Turn it up! 420 vibes, we're keeping it real. Bravo shows got the hottest deal. With special guests, we make it nice. In the club, we're taking that spice. Bless it up. Light it high. Talking Bravo. We're flying sky high. Pop culture team. What's new this week? Dancing to the beat. Yeah, we're feeling sleek. Whoop it up. Make it nice. Drama's wild, let's build that team. From Housewives fight to its on